Okay guys, what's up dogs? I'm going to walk you through Jump Up Superstar. This is the latest one I did. I'm on the same roof that I filmed it on. Because it makes the most sense to just do everything related to this on a roof. Okay, so we'll try to not obscure my guitar neck with my knee. Alright, let's be off. Let's be off. So, it starts out with this crazy run. So that's the first thing you're going to want to work on. As far as the right hand, index finger, I, M, I, M. Okay, then from this pinky here, you're going to slide up. You don't have to put everything else on, just the pinky and the index finger. Then you add the third finger. What's going on here is thumb, thumb, index, thumb, and then you hit this. So the bass happens before the other notes. So it's, and then same thing here, except you start with index, P, P. You hop down here. That's all pretty easy. Right here, grab a full bar, because you have to grab a full bar here. And what you want to do is get these two fingers ready to go, so that you got a higher chance of being accurate with that. Sorry, I got some ringing out weird. Okay, now you're into the main part. So really, a lot of this piece it's a lot of right hand nuttiness, which means it's good for your right hand. So this is actually a really useful piece for getting used to playing melodies and sort of like chord bass accompaniments at the same time. So what I would do with the left hand, first of all, is when you're doing this hammer-on, remember, hammer-ons are, you want to do it quick, not hard, but think of speed, okay? So go index, then so we go the middle finger hammer-on, index finger, then third finger. I'm using everything except for my ring finger over here right now. Now here, that's when I grab the bar, a little bit early. Get me? Now here, what I'm actually doing is I'm taking my middle finger and I'm bending it inwards like this, so that I'm just grabbing these two strings and letting the B note, or letting the B string ring out. So right here, bam. Then when you get to here, I take the middle finger off, then I put it back on right here. That all happens on the and, one and. So in the piece, you'll hear the bass is going back and forth, usually like this. What you want to do is you want to repeat these sections so much that it doesn't feel like two separate elements in your mind. It's not like the melody and then the bass. It really is just this one cohesive whole that's sort of polyrhythmic. So all of that, I'm not really separating my mind into two halves. I'm going, okay, I'm going ba-dum da boom ba boom da do da boo da do do. If that makes any sense. Da do da boo ga boo da do da boo ba boo da do ga boo ga boo da do do. So boom, bum ba boo ba ba boo. I'm thinking each of those notes rhythmically in my head. That's ba ba ba. ba boo ba boo ba 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 boo ba boo. See, each time I go ba 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 ba, that's another musical element, like a bass or a melody or an accompaniment, harmony in the middle. And that's how I do all that hard rhythmic stuff. It's like you're not really separating it in your head. Like, you're not like okay, I got the bass, I'm going boom bam boom bam, and I got the melody. You take that, you mash it into one big complicated whole, so that you know where each of those elements is hitting. You kind of have to think. There's kind of more going on than the listener hears. You're taking stock of everything all at once, whereas they could latch on to just the melody or just the bass line. That's just how it's always worked, in my head with stuff. Just basically just play everything slow. You just work on it slow, and it'll start to work out. I always feel like if you can play it slow, you can play it fast. You gotta be able to play it slow first. But if you can play it slow, then you're capable of playing quicker. You might need to practice more, but you're capable. See what I do there is I'm keeping the chord down, and I'm just moving my pinky up and down, and so I can keep everything else ringing out. Oh. Now as soon as you hit this open G, you can take the left hand off. I'm using my index finger to flick down on those. Now this one's kind of tricky, but what I want you to do, when you're here, I want you to actually put the pinky down, like where the note G is on the E string. That way you can slide this up easy. Then you got an open string afterwards, which lets you transition down. Leave the bar on until right there. Now you got a little bass walk up here. It helps to kind of suck your elbow into your body. Not like literally suck it in, like some weird blobby alien or a turtle. Open strings, they allow you to get down. Again, a flick. Now I'm gonna take my pinky and we're gonna do a little slide. Now I'm realizing that a lot of this, it's not really that special in what I'm doing. It's a lot of sort of normal stuff that just it's all frickin' smashed together into a really short amount of time. With a lot of the stuff we're doing here, I can speak a lot about like transitions with the left hand or whatever. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. It's all pretty normal stuff, of course. Aside from maybe this. I mean, really. I think I just realized. I think I played a wrong note in the actual. I think I played a wrong note in the actual recording. I think I go like this in the recording. You could kind of call that like leading up to the next chord, maybe. Now I'm using my thumb here. Thumb, 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 thumb. And really, I just do this however you can manage it. Okay, as far as the fingerings work. Let me go back here. So yeah, I'm doing all the fingers, and then a couple rings, and then index middle, grabbing this with P and M, and then PI, PM. I think I missed a note there, whatever. Now here, I am doing P and M followed by, oops. Yeah, so that's P and M followed by an I. Flick, then nice arpeggiated sharp chord. Oops. Now, it is important to use 2 for this. It's kind of uncomfortable, but once you get to 3 here, it's going to allow you to slide those 2 up and grab that. And you're going to leave this on, and the only thing that's happening is you're taking your 3rd finger on and off here. With the right hand, flicking with the index. I am flick. I am flick. Then it's jumping up with 2 and 4 here. I'm using P, I, and M. Open string. Then you got to grab this full chord. Now this is gonna have a tricky section mentally. Now notice how you want to give each note its full value. So like in that case, I kind of shifted everything at once, and that's what your hand wants to do. But really, see the melody moves down, and then the bass walks up. So middle finger goes down, open, then switch bass. Grab this, spread them out. Melody comes down, then the bass walks up. It's a little tricky. Now, take your thumb and mute anything that's ringing out for this one part, because you want just the high E to ring out. And I'm just doing that with the ring finger to an index finger. Flicking, but I'm letting my index finger sort of like mute these strings up here, because I don't want this. Even though it's kind of a cool chord, all those notes can work. So if you accidentally let some of them ring out, it's not going to be the end of the world. You know, it'll sound okay. But sort of try to keep this. You want that melodic note to be, you know, the primary one of the chord. If stuff's ringing out here, it's going to sound like this is the melodic note. You don't want that. Just a normal bar chord here. I'll pull down and then plucking again instead of doing a hammer on. I'm doing pluck, pull off, pluck. No, this is a very sort of I don't know what the word is. Not a very refined way of doing this on the right hand. A lot of repeated plucks with the same finger in close succession, and oh, look at that, my freaking foot. Hopefully that hasn't been in the way. I'm gonna hope that wasn't in the way the whole time. No, I think it's okay. I think so. I'll have to go back and check. What was I talking about? What the hell was I talking about, guys? Oh yeah. And a very non-elegant way of doing that part. I just kind of I'm doing what I can grab. There's no elegant way to do that because it's all big chunky chords. I'm going I M P I M I or M I. Sorry. Everything. P I M, boom, and then I think, yeah. M I. Oops. Doing kind of like a flamenco-y sort of whap on that. Got me? And then the third finger on, and you can bounce it back here to grab that. And then we're into this the next section, which to me is like feels like almost like the main section of the piece. So as you can see, the bass is going like this, and the melody is going. But I'm thinking ba-doom. I'm not thinking ba 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 ba. I'm thinking ba boom ba boom bam boom ba boom ba boom ba boom ba 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 boom ba boom ba boom da. Do you get what I'm saying? Boom ka boom ka boom ka boom ka. Because all of those notes are happening. That's kind of how you have to think about it. And once you get it like that, it'll translate. It'll translate fine to the listener. Jesus Christ. I'm in Thailand, by the way, guys. And people like to really rev their scooter engines. Just gotta work on the slow, okay? Keep the pinky on there and slide up. Got me? And again, man, like unfortunately there aren't many tricks that I can pass along to you for this part. I'm just going back and forth with the bass with the thumb. And I'm not really even alternating with the right hand. Like I probably should be, but I'm not. I'm just kind of like at the ends of the phrases I happen to be using like on the downbeats. I'm using the ring finger, and then for the stuff on the B string, I'm just using my index or my middle finger. Or actually, this is all middle finger. That's all just these two fingers. So I get to here. Then I use my ring finger. So here, when you get to this part, thumb, I am, M, and then you're gonna do a flick here. And the most important thing here is to make sure you're not ringing those out. That's no good. Even though it's pretty, it's no good. You don't want that here. So you gotta kind of be lazy on the left hand and let the index finger mute these strings. So if I were to play this whole chord, so I got them muted over here. Got me? And again, repeat. And again, remember this. I don't slap these fingers down until I need them. That's really important. Don't try to get these on real quick. Just worry about, all you need is the bar. All you need is the bar and the bass there. You got all the time you need to slap these fingers down. Oh. Jeez. Okay. Now for the walk up. Again, with the right hand, P and M, P I M, P and M, P I M. Pretty simple, but pretty simple conceptually, but you know, not the easiest thing to pull off. No pun intended. And for this part, your bass note is just drilling on that A string there. And I think actually with this bass, I don't think I even did it the same every time I recorded it. I'm pretty sure I would just kind of feel this part out. not there yet. I'll go back. Okay, now the left hand for this part, it's a little awkward, but very important. 4, 3, so that you have 2, 1, and 4 available for that, okay? And a really quick jab, so you can get your 4 back up to here for the melody. You already did this? You already did this stuff? Oops. It's hard to talk. Okay, this part is probably one of the trickiest parts in the whole thing. You're gonna go just that right there. It's a big stretch with the pinky finger there. You gotta go all the way up to 11. Okay, then the middle finger comes off. This happens, the melody, or I remember that. The melody happens on beat, so you kind of got to stagger. That's the move right there. Index finger, P and A, like that. And remember, I hop down with the third finger, then I grab with the bass with the index. Not at the same time, a little bit after. Yeah, you want to grab this with the third finger, so you can go right into this. And this one, same chords as before. Listen to that bass. It's just driving over and over again on that A string. Now here, get the pinky ready to come right back down to here. So I get it ready right there. And then right here, I'm already thinking about my middle finger because it has to grab this, right? I don't need to slap down this third finger until I need it. Pinky stays on, slides all the way down. Okay, now we're into the final section here. It sounds really cool, but again, it's one of those things where it's really tough to wrap your mind around. But once you do, you don't have to think that much. It's not that crazy. And again, I'm not thinking about it. This is a perfect example of, you got two elements going on. You got the bass, boom, boom, ba-da-da-do, and you got the ba-dum, ba, bum, bum. But you're gonna think about it like one long string of like a melody that's hopping back and forth between the two strings. See, so let me just play it. Just I'll play it for a second. Oops. So, it sounds like there's two elements going on, but in my head, I'm thinking, boo da da boo da 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 ba da boo ba da. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not thinking, and then it just. So just take that for example. You want to be able to go, boom ba ba boo ba. Oops. Boo da da boo da, boo da da boo da, boo da da boo da. So once you start thinking about like that, slowly work your way through it, thinking of the entire thing in that way. But there's like beats on like almost, but there's a note on like almost every beat here. That's how you want to handle these sections, okay? This part's, it's actually not that difficult. Just give yourself some time with it. Really just give yourself some time with it. Let your brain digest it. Start with it very, very slow. All the stuff I don't get immediately. It takes me, you know, it'll take me some time to actually get it to where I can play it through. Especially with this sort of complicated rhythmic stuff. It's always like, I was always like, at first I'm like, oh, what's going on here? Oh, it's so hard. I have to really break it down to figure out how to get my fingers to do it all correctly. Because I think in terms of when you're listening to it, you think, okay, the bass is doing this, the melody is doing this. But then when you try to learn it on guitar, it would be nice if it was just all broken down for you. You got a little roadmap. But you really got to get in there and sort of like break it all apart and sort of relearn it. Almost like forget the old parts. Forget the old melody, forget the old bass. Think of it as one big chunk. And we're up here. The last one is definitely the hardest one. So, because of that. Let me see if I can break this down for you. So, again, right hand, not too hard for this part, mostly in the left hand. You can really come off this quick because the index finger has to jump down for you to get this trill here, really. So it's a hammer on and a pull off. It's tricky because you gotta keep this sort of awkward position with the other fingers. And you get to here, then you immediately hop down here, okay? Right into this. And the way I thought about this section, this wasn't so bad, but this right here, this was really hard mentally for me to get, to keep the bass moving and then do that ba 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 on the melody. So what you want to do is think about it like this. I play the bass. Let me go back for a second. Sorry. So right here. Got that? So really, melody, I play a bass note, and there's like a little sandwich in here. After I play the bass note, I play these immediately, and then I do a hammer-on. So it ends up being this. But then when you do it in time, that was a tricky part as well. But just because it's weird on the fingers to hold that chord out and then still do that hot lick. It's really hard to get that clean, and man, recording it was damn near impossible. Especially when I'm doing take after take after take and my hand gets really tired. I'm doing it for like 2 hours and like freaking I love what this camera does. It just decides every so often movie recording stopped automatically. Thanks, bro. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so where were we? Now we're here, right? I want you to keep, it'd be nice if you could keep the bass and the melody ringing out while you do this. It ain't easy. Especially after you're coming off this. Again, that's all just hammer-ons. Not too crazy. now you're almost done. That's it, man. This is just no special way of doing it with the right hand or the left hand. Just the pinky fingers coming off and on. Kind of give that one a little flamenco flair there. And that's the way to do that is you kind of just flick down like that. Very beginner flamenco right hand over here. They haven't got a whole developed technique and stuff, and that's about all I can do. And you're just gonna rifle through a nice C major 7 chord right there. One of the few chords that I know the name of. Good God, we got screeching vehicles. It's crazy. We're on a roof. Hopefully you enjoyed that walkthrough, guys. It's a bitch. This one is really quite a bitch. But damn, it's a super fun one to play once you get it. And it's one of those ones where, like, once you do get it, it gets significantly easier than you thought it was going to be. Because it sounds just like turbo. It sounds like freaking nuts. Hopefully it works out. If you have any questions or anything, throw me a message or leave me a comment. Either way, I'll hit you back, alright? Cool. Peace, bros.